Alright, so the starter on my Freightliner is going bad. Seems to start up good when it's cold, but seems like when we're out on the road, it starts giving me trouble. And our last delivery to Pittsburgh, the truck wasn't started at all. I had to come around and tap a starter with a hammer to get it going. So I could probably get a little more use out of it, but I don't want to be out on the road and have it fail completely and not be able to start at all. So we're going to change it out. Back in there, you can't see right now, it's too dark. This is the new starter. Hopefully Freightliner sold me the right part. And step one, according to the manual, disconnect the battery. So I already pulled that cover out. So disconnect all the negative cables to avoid shock. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'll get back to you when it's done. Alright, step one is complete. It was fun. Not. When I disconnected the negatives on the right side of the batteries, there's 4 of them. My headlights and flashers came on. So I don't know if that's some kind of signal for low power or something disconnected or what. But they're disconnected, so on to step 2, which is disconnect the wiring from the starter and from the solenoid. Not a lot of room back in there, so we're going to see how this works. I'm hoping I can disconnect the wires, get to the bolts, and drop it out of there without having to move anything else. But we shall see. But we're going to get started on these for now. Might hit them with a little dd15, especially the smaller ones up there. They don't look too good. But we'll give that a shot. Alright, so here's where we're at. Get some light in here. All the wires have been disconnected. I wasn't too hateful except for that one right there. This one. The angle of the cables, and it's got this little plate right there on the back, just made it difficult to get off. We finally got it, and we have that nut off, the nut on the bottom off. We still have to get that nut off, and then it should come out, but we shall see. I had some extensions and a socket on that, and I couldn't get any torque on it, so we're going to try a breaker bar, see how that works. We'll get back to you. Alright, last nut is off, so it should be ready to come out. But we shall see. That nut wasn't too hard to get to. I just used the 19mm socket and 3/8 3/8 drive ratchet with a 10-inch extension and a pipe. And it came out pretty easy. So I'm gonna crawl underneath and try to lower it down out of there. Alright. The starter is out. Try to get a shot of this. Around in here. There's where it goes. Right there. It wasn't easy. The cables, you got to take that mounting bracket off. There's a really long bolt that goes in there, well, close to there. Those two bolts hold the mounting bracket on, and then there's a real long bolt on the mounting bracket that holds these wires in place. That's got to come off. You're not getting a starter out with. We tried pulling it up to the top, the turbo's in the way. It was also kind of seized to the housing. I had to spray a bunch of WD-40 on it and hit it with a hammer, top and bottom. So hit it on the bottom, come up, hit the top. Hit it on the bottom, hit it on the top. Finally got a little bit of a opening there, and then we were able to pry it off with screwdrivers, and then it loosened up and came out. But there's the new one, and we're getting ready to put her back in. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, so here we are. Starter's installed. Batteries are hooked up. And we're going to give it a test. Turn it on. Crank. I think we got it. Now, gotta clean up our mess. In total, it took about 6 hours. It's midnight. It's beer time. So we'll get this mess cleaned up. But some helpful tips when you take that mount off for the cables down below. When you go to put that back on, leave the starter loose. Don't tighten the bolts up. That gives you a little bit of play to push the starter up, and you can get the socket in there to get that bracket put back on. Other than that, it's just tedious work and yeah, trying to get your hands in the small spaces and
It's nice to have someone that has some hands too.
yeah. Diesel repair, I tell you. I mean, plus the starter itself has to weigh 30 or 40 pounds. It's heavy. We got it done. If you have, I'd say, a medium level of mechanical ability, you can do it. I wouldn't attack it if you've never touched a wrench before. But it's done. $375 for a starter, and probably saved myself $900 in labor. Now we'll see you back on the road.